Hey guys, Super Ninja 9 here, Master of the Greninja, coming up with a challenge for you guys. It's called the Ninja Solo Challenge, and I'll explain the rules as soon as as soon as I tell you how it will work. It will work as you only have one Pokemon. You can only use that one Pokemon. Yes, you can have other Mons, as like HM Slays and stuff like that. Like an HM Pokemon, you can have some for fly and stuff like that. But you can only use the one that you picked. Sure, you can make that one your HM Slay too, but not all Pokemon can learn all. Depending on which game you have, HMs. Lucky for people in Sun and Moon, they don't have HMs to deal with. So good for you. Also, stick to the end of the video. I might explain some things for the future for my channel. So basically, here are the rules for this challenge. No starters whatsoever, unless you need to. Basically, this means is, depending on the Pokemon you pick, and I advise pick very early on Pokemon, you have to use the starters that you have. You can't use the starters that you have after you get that Pokemon. Like, for example, I'm playing Black and White, and I want a Venipede. I have to use my starter until I get to the point where I can get the Venipede. Heck, I had to use it regardless because Generation 5 is not a horrible game. It's a good story. Love it. It's not one of my favorites, but no offense to it. But it won't let you be able to trade until later on after you beat the first gym leader. So basically that's a requirement. If you're playing Generation 2 and you want to get Larvitar, that's completely redundant of the rule I made. Because that just feels like cheating. And this is a rule set for people that don't have any friends or extra 3DSs and stuff like that. Yeah. That feels like a douchebag move of people. Just don't use the starters unless you have to. If you have to beat the first gym before you get your next Pokemon, then yeah, I'd use the starters for a little bit. But like I said before, try to pick early route Mons. If I were you, I'd pick, if you're in Generation 1, I'd pick either Nidorans, male or female, and that's it. That's my opinion. No offense to Pikachu, just Giovanni would sweep the floor with Raichu. And yeah, I'm getting into my opinion. Rule number 2. No legendaries whatsoever. A, you wouldn't be able to get them from where the point of my first rule was, no starters, since you had to pick a Pokemon before that. You can't go all of a sudden saying, I want to use Mewtwo. Great! You're breaking rule number 1. Rule number 3. No trade evolutions. So sorry for those people that love using Alakazam, Gengar, Machamp, Golem. I'm not going to list all the trade evolutions because it'll take me 5 years to do that, even though I'm being a smart person right now. Can't say the afterward because I'm being demonetized by YouTube. So basically, no mythicals, no legendaries, no starters, and no trade evolutions. Because sometimes you're stuck with what you have and you don't have that many people that are that are free or not. So basically, here's how it works. Let's just say I'm playing for Generation 3. Oh, speaking of which, the Gen Fiend. I will tell you, I know this is true, that Generation 1's not gold, silver, crystal. That's Generation 2. You can deck me later if you see me in the future. Generations 1, which is red, blue, and yellow, is not close to the same as not Ruby, Sapphire, I'm saying. Pokemon, Let's Go Eevee, Let's Go Pikachu, and Fire Red and Leaf Green are not in the same generation as Generation 1. I know this. Same thing with the other remakes of Pokemon games. But for this whole entire challenge, I will count them as one. So basically, if you're playing a Gen 6 game like X and Y, I will allow Mega Evolutions for those who have it. And if your Pokemon can Mega Evolve, but you can't get the stone until later, too bad. Oh yeah, there's one more rule. I forgot about this. This is the 4th rule. I completely forgot about this. Nuts, I forgot about it again. I just walked about it and just talked about the whole entire generation. Oh, now I remembered. You can only stick with the Pokemon from that generation. So basically, if you want a Crobat, sorry, you have to start out with that then. But the problem is, you can't get that because you can't catch Zubat. So basically, if I want a Crobat in Pokemon Gold, Silver, Crystal, and Soul Silver and Heart Gold, sorry, can't get Zubat because you can't have Zubat or Golbat a part of it. So, sorry for those who want to use that. That's just the main example. It works with every single works at every single region. So basically, if you want a Sylveon, sorry, no Eevee's allowed to be captured at all. So you can get your torches and pitchforks and charge me later for that. But I feel like you should at least have at least one generation Mon that you like the most. I'm gonna do this challenge too. Trust me, it's gonna be like a series. But I'm gonna start it out in Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire with. I passed it. Mawile. Mawile will be my starting Mon, and for those who are playing the generation where the 3DS existed and they have Pokemon Bank, or Pokebank if you want to say it that way, you can at least have whatever you want technically, except for other regional Pokemon. So basically, for example, what if I said, oh, I need to do this? Remember how I said, if you're playing generations 1 through 5, pick the closest Mon? Well, it doesn't matter for generations, for Pokemon, it doesn't matter for Pokemon XY, Omega Ruby, Alpha Sapphire, Sun and Moon, and Ultra Sun, Ultra Moon, because you've got Pokebank. You don't need friends for that. You can just get them all out in one game, breed it, hatch an egg of it, transfer it over to, put it in Pokebank, transfer it over to the game that you're planning on using, and that's how I'm going to play Omega Ruby that way. So basically, I'll have them all out throughout the whole entire game. So basically, these are easy rules. I would love to see what you guys come up with. I'd love to hear what generations you got planned and what Pokemon you're planning on using. And yes, if you're wanting to use Magikarp in Generation 1, you can use their starter to switch train it. You can use their starter as long as you need to until you get the Pokemon you're after. Then you gotta slowly level it up depending on which game version you have. And, not game version, depending on what game you're playing in. Like, for example, you're playing the games with the 3DSs are on, except for, of course, Red, Blue, Yellow, Gold, Silver, and Crystal, you can easily do this easily. Also, no trading whatsoever. So basically, even if you're doing the Gen 1 thing and say, oh, I need this Pokemon for this, and is that your Pokemon over there that they need to trade for, that you want? Sorry, you have to actually catch that in the wild. Also, that brings up another rule I forgot to mention. You must have a Pokemon that's easy to get to. Or you can at least buy or find a way to get. Like, for example, Generation 1, because I can't think of any other generations other than Generation 1 and 3, and also the others. But yeah, Gen 1's easier. I want to get a Magikarp. I want to have a Gyarados to destroy the game. And I would technically say no breaking Mons allowed, but for the Gen 1 games, but yet, in actual reality, that just leaves you with Caterpie and Weedle and Pidgey. And I really don't want to be that douchebag over there. So basically, I will let you guys have the broken Mons, except for Alakazam and Gengar. Because they're trade Mons. Sorry. So basically, for example, I want a Magikarp. I'm stuck with my starter, switch training it until it gets to level 20. So basically, you get Gyarados. If your Pokemon can evolve into another form that's from that region, it's allowed. Sorry to say this, but if you wanted to use... oh yeah, I said this already. So basically, even if you want to Golbat, you still can't get it. Even if you're playing through... Actually, no. Could you? No, later on. So basically, even if you're playing through Gold, Silver, Crystal, and Heart Gold, and Soul Silver, and I'm counting them, so basically, I will say this. Let's see, all gens. Actually, no, all game versions. Heart Gold and Soul Silver. If you're playing for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and you pick, let's see, I need to find them. It's so hard to find them nowadays. And if you pick, let's see, I'm trying to find it. I doubt you can do it unless you've got a bunch of friends, but yet, me, I don't have that much friends that have the time, or I can meet up with them. So basically, if you pick Yanma, it takes me a while, I'm sorry. Let's see, Yanma. Sorry it's taking me a while, I'm dead serious. Yanma. Lickitung, Tango. Actually, no, you can't use Lickitung or Tango. What I'm saying, you can't. Yanma or Swinub. Let me check to see if there's any more. Let's see, Yanma or Swinub. Okay, I'm good. So basically, if you pick Yanma and Swinub, which I kind of doubt you'd pick those guys, you cannot evolve them into Mamoswine and Yanmega. That's completely against the rule number, I don't remember, it's like rule 4. Yeah, rule 4. You cannot, it'll break rule 4, which means you have to stick with the region Pokemon you get. But basically, any other Pokemon that you want, like for example, if you're, actually all game versions makes more sense. So basically, if it evolves naturally into that region and actually belongs in that region, I will allow it. But if it's another Pokemon from another gen, I'm sorry, it won't be counted. So, I will send this challenge off to everyone that sees this video. If you see this video, you're challenged. I'm mainly talking to you, Morpher. I'd actually like to see you post more videos. Nudge, nudge. Shameless plug-in. Other than that, that's all I have for the challenge. No starters unless you have to for a little bit until you get your Pokemon. No legendaries, no trade mons, no other regional variants. So basically, the Alolan forms don't count either. Sorry, I think you put that in there too. And no evolving Pokemon into other regional Pokemon. Now, if you stuck to the end of this video, which is possibly really long, actually it's shorter than what I was thinking was, I have some announcements. I might be recording more often on my Switch. As you can tell, I've been recording Smash Brothers on my Switch now. And I'm planning, in the near future, to record Ultimate's Life Flight. I'd love to see how you guys react to me screwing up in Spirits. But yeah, I already did like a playthrough of it once on my own. So basically, I do have some Spirits that count to the others. Thank God. One of them was really hard. Not Pauline. I know what you guys are thinking. And another one is I might do a Let's Go series. I'm going to cancel. I'm sorry for the whole entire randomized Emerald one. I'm canceling it. There's no point for it. I fortunately deleted the one video where I fought Brawly and went over to Slateport. So that whole entire series is done. Along with the other Emerald series with Trico in it. So basically, those videos will be taken down soon, I promise. Because I cannot continue them. For one of them I can't continue because the game wouldn't let me load it. And two, the other one, I just skipped the video by accident. I deleted it and I didn't even know it. It wasn't on YouTube. It was physically on my phone and I deleted it by accident. So I'd like to say sorry for that. But I will have a playthrough of World of Light and Let's Go. So, after saying all that, I hope to see you guys at the challenge. I really want to see what you guys think of and what Pokemon you pick. And after saying this is the Super Ninja 9, Master Greninja, signing out. See you guys later. Bye.